Hello, my name is Megan Singleterry, and I will be speaking briefly about the Roma, a marginalized ethnic group who have been the subject of much social turbulence in Europe. This is an interesting case where the social turbulence shows itself in the majority oppressing an ethnic group that has put up little effective resistance so far. There isn't enough time to talk about Roma people's extensive history in Europe, but here's a little bit of information. Roma are commonly and erroneously referred to as gypsies because they were believed to have originated in Egypt, but linguists have analyzed their language and traced it to areas of northern India, from where they are believed to have migrated east and settled in Europe between the 13th and 15th centuries. Roma are Europe's largest ethnic minority group and have a distinct culture and language. Their traditional professions are generally low-skilled and include toolmakers, entertainers, farm workers, fortune tellers, and other trades. There are an estimated 10 to 12 million Roma living in Europe today, and they have faced persecution in different forms since the time of their arrival. Roma people have faced a number of different forms of persecution over the centuries. This slide mentions a few of them, including forced expulsion by penalty of death, enslavement, forced assimilation policies, forced sterilization, which has happened as late as 1999 in some countries, and most notably, the Holocaust. There are estimates that between 250,000 and 500,000 Roma died in concentration camps by execution or by starvation due to the Nazi regime during World War II. Roma are consistently faced with social turbulence through discrimination and persecution, which still persists to this day. They live in constant fear of being attacked or displaced, suffered from poorer health care, lower life expectancies, and worse education, and have little opportunity to make their lives better. The non-Roma community frequently stereotypes all Roma people as criminals and thieves, unhygienic and stupid, and just completely different from other civilized Europeans. 90% of Roma live in poverty. Several countries have de facto segregated education systems for Roma children, including in Slovakia. Roma are frequently segregated at hospitals and receive substandard care as a result. They also face discrimination in the workplace and will frequently be denied jobs for which they are qualified just because they are Roma. Police will ethnically profile Roma and detain them illegally, or raid their settlements just for suspecting that they have done something wrong, which is a reaction to the common notion that all Roma are criminals. And one of the worst things that happens to Roma in many European countries is the demolition of their settlements. While they were traditionally seasonally nomadic, many countries forced them to settle without giving them anywhere to go. So many of them have made makeshift settlements or have moved into abandoned buildings. When the state demolishes their settlements, in many cases it is the result of mobilization against the Roma by the local non-Roma community. In striking similarity to Peter Vermeersch's competition and political process perspectives on ethnic mobilization, anti-Roma social turbulence tends to manifest in politics. This slide shows one example of a campaign billboard in Slovakia scapegoating Roma for the country's economic problems. Roma are often used as scapegoats for crime, bad economies, and other problems that countries within Europe face. Roma are often referred to as parasites or human garbage by some of those in power, who manipulate the feelings of the non-Roma community by making them angry and fearful of Roma, and giving them the idea that if they just rid themselves of the Roma people, all of their problems will be solved. This slide mentions more examples of how people in different countries in Europe have mobilized against this marginalized ethnic group with the hopes of ultimately ethnically cleansing them out of their communities and countries. Due to the social turbulence that they face on a day-to-day basis, many Roma have, up until the last few years, been unable to really unite and fight for the same rights that many others in Europe enjoy. However, there are some organizations, activists, and media outlets working to improve the lives of Roma and share information about what's going on within their communities. This slide mentions several of them. With the help of these organizations and media outlets, many Roma have started to work to mobilize and protest for their rights. If, as Europe's largest ethnic minority, the Roma are able to unite and mobilize more, it will surely cause more social turbulence throughout Europe, but hopefully with positive results for those who ethnically identify as Roma. Thank you.